Any further discussion? Mr. Mills is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to thank you both for proposing this exceptionally important piece of legislation. You know, a lot of people, when they look at members of Congress, they assume that we have a certain type of background, not realizing that we all come from different walks of life. I'm a multi-generational Central Floridian, where drugs have continued to plague us through the what we call the I-4 corridor, and it's been a very big issue for us. You see, I know a little bit about this, and that's why my true heartfelt condolences to those who've lost someone. My father has suffered with addiction his entire life, spent over 30 years in prison. My mother still suffers with addiction and has spent over 7 years in prison. And I came from a home whereby I bounced house to house until I was about 9 years old when my grandparents finally adopted me. And then I understood what it was to be a part of a nuclear family, but I watched as other members of my family continued to deal with issues with opioid addiction. And it would start out really as something simple, like my cousin who was a roofer, who had injured his back, went to the doctor, got a prescription, became addicted to that prescription, could no longer get additional scripts, so he started buying it freely on the market. And on numerous occasions, he had bought something that wasn't what he thought it was. And luckily, when he was overdosing, someone was there to actually call 911 and get the necessary care. That doesn't happen for everyone. I think that this is one of the key issues in America today is the illicit trafficking of not only fentanyl, but the propping up of the Mexican cartels and the actual intention of the Chinese to try and poison and to try and go ahead and degrade America. I once again thank you, Chairman McCall, for putting this forward, and also to the ranking member and to my colleagues, because you're right. This is not a Republican or a Democrat issue. This is an American issue. This impacts us all in one way or another. I thank you so much for putting this bill onto the floor. I hope that those who do suffer from the addiction get the necessary care that they need, like my mother needs. And with that, I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. Any further discussion?